Okay, so today we're going to be reviewing for the test. This is the second test review. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, so if you are struggling with anything in particular, pause or rewind, go back, look over it. One thing to remember with inequalities, remember any time that you multiply or divide by a negative number, the inequality sign is going to flip around. Okay? So let's go through some examples. The test doesn't go over anything too much more complicated than two-step inequalities. And we are solving and graphing these. You're going to have to draw your own interval, or not your own graph. So, and again, I'll go over that in a sec. So, again, you would always get rid of this number that's adding or subtracting first, unless you have something that is dividing like the entire side of the equation. Then you get rid of that because you can't move something while it's being divided unless it's only dividing one thing. Then you would multiply it. Okay, but looking at this, the first thing you get rid of is the 3, right? The plus 3. So we're going to move that to the other side. It's adding, so we would have to subtract. We always do the opposite operation. And that gives you 18 is greater than 2m. And then we would divide by 2. Now, when we divide by a positive 2, it's not going to do anything, right? Because it's when you multiply or divide a number to each side, and by a negative number, and this is a positive 2. So because it's positive, it does not do anything to the inequality sign. And you'd have 9 is greater than m. So there's one answer. And then you do your number line, your graph. Okay, I usually just do 3 numbers, the number in question and the number before and after. So the thing we need to look at when we're graphing, again, there are 4 types of inequality symbols. You have your regular greater than or less than, and your greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. And depending on what type of circle, if it's a regular inequality, it's an open circle. If it has the equal to, so the line underneath of it, it'd be a closed circle. And if it eats the number, it's going to go to the left. That means the number is the bigger number, and the alligator always eats the bigger number. So if it eats the number, that means the variable is less than, and it's going to go to the left. So this would be an open circle, and it would go to the left. Okay? If it had eaten the variable, that would have meant the variable was the bigger number, and you graphed the variable, right? So it would be going to the right. So that would be your second answer right there. Okay, and each of these are going to have 2 answers. Okay, I'm going to move a little bit quicker from now on. So again, pay attention. And if you need to, pause, rewind, all that kind of stuff. So here, we've got the number adding or subtracting, and then the number multiplying. So we're going to get rid of this one first. Again, you always look at the sign in front. This is a positive 4. So to move it, we're going to subtract 4. Again, we want this to go to 0 so we can, when we move it to the other side. So if it's positive 4, you'd have to take away 4 for it to go to 0. And 9 minus 4 is 5. It's less than or equal to negative 5a. Then we're going to divide by negative 5 to each side. So we're dividing by a negative number. So warning, we are dividing by a negative number. That means this inequality sign is going to flip around and go the other direction. Okay, so there is another answer there. And then we do our graph. And that's a negative 1, sorry. Negative 1, negative 2, 0. This one is going to be a closed circle because it's got that line under it. And it's eating the numbers, so it's going to go to the left. Okay, just like that. There's your second answer. Let's look at another one. So number 3. Again, we're going to move the number adding and subtracting. It's adding, so we're going to minus 3 to each side. That gives me 3 is greater than x over 3. And then I've got this best friend here. It's a creepy best friend, right? But to get rid of it, it's dividing, so we're going to multiply each side by 3. And it's a positive 3, so it doesn't do anything with the inequality sign. So I'm going to have 9 is greater than x. And there's one answer. Then I'm going to graph it. And 8, 9, 10. It's eating the number, so it'll be open circle going to the left. Same exact answer as number 1, but there it is. Okay, let's look at another one. So number 4. This one, well, I'm just going to do it this way. So we would distribute the 10, right? Get 10 in plus 30 is greater than or equal to 10. And then you get rid of the number adding and subtracting, so you're going to minus 30 to each side. Gives you 10n is greater than or equal to negative 20. And then you divide by 10 because it's multiplying. So you're going to divide to move it. Now, this is a negative number, but the number dividing to each side is positive. This is the number that matters. So the inequality sign is going to stay the same. So n is greater than or equal to negative 2. So there is one answer. Then we're going to graph it. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. This one's going to be a closed circle. It's got the line under it. And it's eating the variable, so it's going to go to the right. And that would be your second answer on that one. Okay, let's look at the next one. This one has something dividing under the entire equation or party, right? So that's what we call the creeper, and we would multiply to get rid of him. So multiply each side by 10, cancels out there, and it's positive 10, so it doesn't do anything to my inequality sign. So n plus 3 is greater than or equal to 10. And then I just have to get rid of the 3, it's adding, so I'd subtract 3, and have n is greater than or equal to 7. So there's one answer. And then do my graph. 6, 7, 8. It's going to be a closed circle because it's got that line under it. It's going to go to the right because it's eating the variable. Just like that. Not too tough, right? Let's look at the next one. Number 6. So I've got this number subtracting. I'm going to get rid of him first. So add 5 to each side. Gives me x over negative 5 is less than negative 4. Then I'm going to multiply, get rid of this creepy best friend, by negative 5. Now I'm multiplying by a negative to each side, so warning, gotta flip the inequality sign, multiplying by a negative number. So the inequality sign is going to flip around, it's going to eat the x, and negative 4 times negative 5 is a positive 20. So there is one answer. Then we do our number line, and I've got 19, 20, 21. This one's going to be an open circle because it's just a regular inequality, and it's going to go to the right because it's eating the variable. Okay? All right, so the next one. So the next one, we're going to start by distributing the negative 5. So distribute negative 5. We get negative 20 minus 5b is less than negative 70. Then best friend and acquaintance. Going to get rid of this acquaintance first. It's a negative, so I would add 20 to each side. Gives me negative 50 greater than negative 5b. And then I'm going to have to divide by a negative 5. So divide by negative 5 to each side. Dividing by a negative, so warning, negative number dividing each side flips the sign around. And I'm going to get a positive 10 is less than b. So there is one answer. And then I do my graph. And 9, 10, 11. This one's going to be an open circle, regular inequality symbol, eating the variable. It's going to go to the right. Just like that. Okay, and then the last one on this page, we've got negative 5 minus 5x over 2. Again, if something's dividing the entire thing, you need to get rid of it first. So you're going to start by multiplying 2 to each side. So negative 5 minus 5x less than negative 20. Then I get rid of the number adding or subtracting, so add 5 to each side. Gives me negative 5x. And my light went out, but I guess I don't need it. So enjoy the dark floating face of me. So negative 5x is less than negative 15. And then I would divide by negative 5 to each side. Actually, this is annoying me, so I'm going to go turn the light on. Okay, great. I'm back. Okay. Divided by a negative to each side, that means the inequality sign has to flip. You get the warning. X is now greater than a positive 3. So there's one answer. Then I do my number line. 2, 3, 4. And this one's going to be an open circle, eating the x, so it's going to go to the right. And that would be your graph. Okay, not too tough, right? We've got a few more here. I'm going to split this into 2 videos. So if you need help with the page 142, that will be on the next video here.